Hey y'all, what's up? This is Rosie. First off, I just want to thank any new subscribers that I have. I really do appreciate y'all staying with me and just being patient with me, just trying out new material and new videos and new things to talk about. I'm just trying to find what keeps viewers interested. And I really haven't caught the hang of it yet, but I'm trying. So anyway, so it's almost the holidays. The holidays are upon us, and I started thinking about when I had a job, when I was working. And I worked at a grocery store for 4 years. And then after that, I worked at an arts and crafts store for like a few months. So I worked at the grocery store and was hired pretty much right away. And it was the suckiest job. It was the crappiest job. At that time, we were making only $4.25 an hour for the minimum wage, and that was how much I was started at. And I made that for about 2 or 3 years that I worked there. And my salary went up as the minimum wage went up. So I liked working at the grocery store mainly because other than having my own job, I started in high school and was able to pay for a lot of the stuff that I had to get as a senior. In high school, I was able to pay for my own photo packet, even though I didn't really. My stepdad didn't let me pay for it. He paid for it. And I would have been able to get my class ring, which he paid for that too. And some clothes and shoes and just general expenses that I probably wouldn't have been able to get otherwise without my parents. So that was awesome. And but I also made friends when I was working, and that's an aspect that I really miss, is making friends and having people to hang out with on my off days. And that was just always a cool aspect of working at the grocery store, was my friends. It was, the job itself sucked. I worked in the grocery store deli, and we made cakes and cupcakes and cookies, and we wrote on cakes. I used to love writing on the cakes. And we made sandwiches and put food out on the steam table, just all that cool crap that you see when you go to a deli now in a supermarket. That was what we had to do. So if I miss anything, it is just making friends and having something to do and getting paid for leaving the house, basically. My favorite parts of the year when we worked was the day after Thanksgiving and the day after Christmas, and even on to New Year's, mainly because nobody showed up. Okay, after Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, people showed up, of course, because they had to get last minute ingredients, and they had to make sure that they had everything ready for their table and their guests and their huge dinners and feasts and whatever. And a lot of that fell on us in the deli because we were baking turkeys and that sage dressing, that stuff was so gross. And so yeah, a lot of the time that their feasts fell on our backs. And so the morning of Thanksgiving was often chaotic, with them picking up their dinners and us giving them out, and sometimes we were able to give them free things when people didn't pick up their dinners. So and then we got that extra money because we were paid overtime pay, and that was our holiday pay. And the day after Thanksgiving, nobody showed up unless they were coming back to complain about their dinners. I believe I talked about that in another video. Nobody really showed up. We were just standing there looking goofy with leftovers on the steam table, and nobody coming to purchase anything because they were either full or they had a bunch of leftovers or they were doing Black Friday shopping. And so I didn't mind that too much because that just let us get our chores done quicker, and we pretty much just wrote the clock because we finished early. But we were like, well, if we clock out early, we're not going to get the rest of our pay. So let's just ride the clock. And we did. We just goofed around and rode the clock until we were ready to get off at 9 o'clock that night. And that went on for a few days until people started trickling back into the store sometime during the next week. And it was the same way at Christmas. At Christmas, people came in and they got last minute ingredients, blah, 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 yada, yada. Same thing from Thanksgiving. And then Christmas, we didn't have to go in at all. And the day after Christmas, and for like maybe 5 to 6 days later, nobody came into the store. Like, we didn't see anybody. Every once in a while, we get a straggler coming in and giving last minute or belated Merry Christmases to people they knew. And they'd stop in the middle of the store and they'd talk and get in people's way, the few people that were there. And we were just like standing around, nothing to do. And so those were my favorite times of the year to work the grocery store. When I worked at the arts and crafts store, that was a different story altogether. When I worked at Michael's Arts and Crafts, it was chaotic on Black Friday. We got so many people, and we worked for, I was on the cash register for 4 hours straight, maybe 5. Straight hours, no breaks. People just streaming in left and right. I mean, there was just no break. And when I finally saw a break in shoppers, it was maybe about 6 p.m. And so I clocked out as fast as I could and took my till to the office. And I was like, I'm going on break. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I have to get out of here. And so they were like, okay, fine. That's fine. And so I left with my at the time boyfriend, and he was later my husband, but now my ex-husband. But I left with him and we went to get something to eat. And he asked me how my day was going, and I said, I have half a mind to just stay clocked out and go home. But luckily, I went back to work, and I say luckily because I gave the story in another video. Can't remember which one. But I went back and was accused of stealing, and later that night, turns out they found the money, but they didn't apologize for accusing me for their faux pas. Whatever. And so the next day was pretty chill. You know, we still got a stream of people coming in, but it wasn't as much as on Black Friday. And that was when I made up my mind, if I have a choice and if I can avoid it, I never want to work retail again. At first I did want to, because for a while customer service was like a passion of mine and I wanted to go back to it. But if I have a choice, if I have to work a register again, I would rather it be like maybe at a hotel, desk clerk at a hotel, or at a grocery store. Because, you know, even though it can be chaotic before the actual holiday, it can be pretty chill thereafter. But, you know, working retail, Walmart, Target, I don't want to do that. Never again, if I can help it, if I can avoid it, if I can stay away from it. But yeah, that's pretty much what it's like working retail during the holidays, if you don't know already. But anyways, you guys, I'm just gonna go. I have nothing more to say. As usual, there are donations links in the description. I have my Cash App, PayPal, and GoFundMe. If you guys would hit that and consider lending me a hand, I would definitely appreciate that, and thank you so much in advance. A wise man once said, you have to find your tribe one person at a time, or build your tribe one person at a time. If you would like to be a part of my tribe, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. No matter what generation you are from, I will be so glad to have you. But you guys, I love you so much for spending time with me. Hope to see y'all on the next upload. Bye for now.